Good evening and welcome to the national news broadcast on Channel Live. I'm Natalia Viravardhan.
A very good evening to you, indeed. I'm Shikara Herat. Now let's first have a look at the headlines for tonight. The President reiterates that it is the responsibility of all to safeguard the environment when implementing development projects. The 72nd Independence Day ceremony is to be gallantly commemorated at the Independence Square premises tomorrow. The number of those killed due to the coronavirus increases to 362. The court orders to arrest former chief executive of the SriLankan Airlines and his wife.
And now the top story for tonight, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that all parties must focus attention on safeguarding ecological systems in the implementation of development projects. More attention in this connection is entrusted upon ministers and government officials. The President made these remarks addressing the national ceremony on World Wetland Day. The event has taken place at the Apegama premises in Battaramulla. It was jointly organized by the Central Environmental Authority and the Department of Wildlife Conservation. The World's Wetland Day falls on 2nd of February each year. The theme of this year's celebrations was Wetlands are filled with biodiversity. It was in the year 1971 that the United Nations has proclaimed World's Wetland Day in Ramza city in Iran. Sri Lanka had become a signatory of the Wetland Convention in the 1990. At the commemoration ceremony, 10 commemoration stamps depicting 10 plants faced with the threat of extinction were issued. The President said that some wetlands were subjected to destruction due to implementation of development projects through state sponsorship. He added that previously flood threats were not present in these areas. However, due to reclamation of such land in the recent past, these lands have come under water even in an occasion of minor rainfall. The President further said that during the regime of President Mahinda Rajapaksa, they have taken measures to safeguard the wetlands. The President also said that it is extremely important to act with understanding to safeguard the environment while engaged in development activities. These issues could not be resolved through legal means alone. He further said that it would have been extremely beneficial if environment subject is included in the school curriculum. Indiscriminate application of fertilizer and pesticides have completely changed the environment, eliminating biodiversity. The President further said that the officials and ministers have a responsibility to rectify this situation. The President has also presented prizes and certificates to the winners of the island-wide school and open drawings competition held in connection with the World Wetland Day. Prizes were presented to 2 Sri Lankan school children who have become winners in an art competition held in Poland. The President has also watched the drawings which brought victory to the country. The invitation card of this national ceremony was prepared according to a special methodology. It was made out of recycling of predatory plant species with the inclusion of seeds. The plant seeds could be obtained by placing the invitation card in a growth medium. A group including several government officials were also present on this occasion.
And now the 72nd National Day falls tomorrow. The main commemoration ceremony is scheduled to be conducted at the Independence Square premises. The Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has made arrangements to give a live telecast of the event. The final rehearsals of the ceremony were conducted today. The National Day ceremony is to be inaugurated with the arrival of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Upon hosting of the national flag, a gun salute is to be conducted in honor of the President. An Independence Day parade will also be conducted with the participation of more than 7,000 persons, including members of the 3 armed forces, 3,376 Army personnel, 799 Navy personnel, 847 Air Force personnel, 596 police personnel, 327 Special Task Force personnel, 385 Civil Defense Task Force personnel, 252 members of the National Cadet Force, as well as 475 cultural and performing artists are scheduled to take part in the commemoration ceremony. 72 armed cars and a group of aircrafts of the Air Force are scheduled to display their performances in the parade as well. The Sri Lankan Navy has organized a special program in connection with the National Day at the Goldface Green. Several craft of the Navy will take part in the event. The Goldface Naval Display includes Angampura sports performances and several exhibition stalls. The Pirit chanting ceremony organized in connection with the National Day was held at the Independence Square yesterday. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has also participated in the event. The Pirit chanting ceremony was jointly organized by the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, the Ministry of Cultural and Religious Affairs, and the Department of Buddhist Affairs. An alms-giving ceremony to the Mahasangha in connection with the Independence Day ceremony was held at the Atula Dasana Buddhist Center in Colombo 7 this morning.
A special traffic plan will be implemented in the Colombo city tomorrow on the day of the holding of the 72nd National Independence Day ceremony. As a result of several roads will be kept closed and vehicle transport in several other roads will be restricted. The traffic plan will come into effect from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. Vehicle transport to the direction of Glass House and Nilumpakuna from the Library Junction will be curtailed. The Dharmapala Mawatha, Vijayarama Mawatha, Horton Place, Desoisa roundabout and related byroads will remain closed during the period. The police also says that the roads Vidya Mawatha, Maitland Place, Nidahas Mawatha, Stanley Vijayasundara Mawatha and several roads outside of the temple trees will also be kept closed. Vehicles coming from the Kolapitiya Junction along Gaul Road could enter Union Place, Ward Place and the Deans Road via the Liberty Roundabout and the Lipton Roundabout. Vehicles coming along the Havelock Road and Thumulla could proceed along Thurston Road, Flower Road, Pittala Junction to James Peary's Mawatha and Dharmapala Mawatha. Vehicles coming along Horton Place will be diverted on the southern direction at the Vijayarama Junction to Ward Place, Dharmapala Mawatha and Thumulla.
Now, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the government will take measures to give an appropriate evaluation on the services of the teachers by safeguarding the pride of the teachers' profession. He made these remarks at a ceremony in Temple Trees today. The event was held in connection with the presentation of scholarships organized by the Cooperative Thrift and Credit Society Limited of the Educational Services. 2,392 students who have gained qualifications to enter universities in the year 2017 and 18 have received scholarships. The cooperative society, known as the Guru Gedara, is an institute which implements numerous programs for the welfare of teachers. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa stated that the country is in a threshold of a social calamity. Kilos of drug pills are being found, and the Prime Minister stated that the drug menace should be eliminated from schools. The parents remain scared of the situation. The Prime Minister further stated that if the teachers were granted authority regarding the issue, they would be able to quench the unrest of the parents. The teachers are in a weakened state. It is a responsibility of the government to resolve the problem. In Sri Lanka, the teaching profession has been divided into 5 sections. The Prime Minister further stated that they hope to rectify shortcomings in the teaching profession and to turn it into an honourable profession like in the other countries. The Prime Minister added that Minister Dalasala Peruma has also submitted a cabinet paper in this connection.
ලබලා දෙන්න. දැන් ඩල සලාප් වෙනම ඇමතුමා දැනටමත් ඒ ගැන කැබිනට් පත්‍රිකාවක්
A large gathering including MPs and ministers were present at the occasion.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says that the law should be implemented sternly against the irregularities alleged to have been committed in the purchasing of Airbuses for the SriLankan Airlines. This was disclosed at a media briefing in Colombo today. State Minister Rohitabe Gunawardena said that they have come to know of information regarding a bribe of $17 million given to the wife of the former executive officer with regard to a fraudulent Airbus transaction of the Sri Lankan Airlines. He has also extended thanks to the President for focusing immediately on the issue.
And now the Fort Magistrate Court has ordered today to take into custody the former chief executive of the Sri Lankan Airlines, Kapila Chandrasena, and his wife. The order has been delivered according to the request of the Department of Criminal Investigation. The weekend English newspapers and several websites have reported that a financial fraud has taken place in the transaction with the Airbus Industries company for the purchasing of aircrafts for Sri Lankan Airlines. Accusations have been launched against former chief executive of the Sri Lankan Airlines, Kapila Chandrasena, and his spouse regarding the deal. President Rajapaksa has ordered authorities yesterday to conduct a full investigation into the alleged financial irregularity. Accordingly, Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira, upon examination of the information pertaining to this issue at the Department of Criminal Investigation, has advised the department to obtain a warrant from the judiciary for the arrest of the chief executive of Sri Lankan Airlines and his wife. Accordingly, the magistrate court has issued the warrant.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has extended his appreciation to the staff of the Sri Lankan Airlines who were responsible for bringing back a group of Sri Lankans from Wuhan city in China, disregarding of the threat on their lives. He further says that their commitment is an exemplary to every other sector. The staff of the aircraft who went to Wuhan have joined a luncheon at the President's office today. Chairman of the Sri Lankan Airlines, Ashok Patirake, and officials were also present on the occasion. The President also said that the act of the staff who were motivated by the sole objective of bringing back the Sri Lankans to the motherland safely will enter the history of the Sri Lankan Aviation Service. He added that fullest support will be provided, turn the Sri Lankan Airlines into one of the leading airline companies in the world. President Secretary P. Sundara and security officials have also attended the event. Staff of the Sri Lankan Airlines aircraft who took part in the mission to bring back the Sri Lankan students from China have attended the media briefing today. The Ministry of Health says what it will continue to remain vigilant on the female Chinese national who was cured of the coronavirus infection. It has also been reported that any other patient afflicted with the disease has not yet been found. Tests are being conducted on 20 persons suspected of being infected with the coronavirus. These patients are being treated at the Infectious Disease Institute in Colombo and in several hospitals. Specialist physician Dr. Sudat Samaravira says that a systematic mechanism is in place to minimize harmful effects in the event of spread of the disease.
Yeah, this Chinese is the only case that we have identified in our country. Clinically, she is now almost recovered. She is in a good health, but we have to consider many factors that before we are discharging. The main thing is that we should assure that she is not having this virus in her body and she is not spreading or excreting this virus from her body. So that again that this is a disease that we know only for 2 months. So that we have to make it assurance that we are doing that repeated investigations and keep her under observation, and the consultants who are treating her will decide when the best time her to discharge.
Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi says that the government has taken all measures to control spread of the virus in Sri Lanka. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that a National Action Committee has been established under the Health Ministry of President's advice immediately after when they came to know of the coronavirus. It was set up according to the international health regulations and the regulations of the World Health Organization. The minister further said that as a government, they have taken all necessary measures to prevent proliferation of the virus in the country. She added that measures will be taken continuously, at least for a further month, to prevent the spread of the disease. The minister also pointed out that the representative of the WHO have said that Sri Lanka has taken the appropriate measures to deal with the coronavirus issue.
නිත්‍ය නියෝජිතවරිය ප්‍රකාශයක් නිකුත් කරමින් සඳහන් කරා ශ්‍රී ලංකාව මෙම රෝගය පැතිරවීම වැළැක්වීම සඳහා ගත් ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ප්‍රශස්ත මට්ටමක තියෙන බැවින් ඇයගේ ප්‍රශංසාවට සහ ලෝක සෞඛ්‍ය සංවිධානයේ ප්‍රශංසාවට ලක් වෙනවා කියන්නේ.
The Government Medical Officers Association has commended the airline staff who brought the Sri Lankans to the motherland from Wuhan city at a media briefing today. Health sources say that the 33 persons who came from Wuhan city remain in good health condition. Acting Sri Lankan ambassador in China, K.K. Yoganathan, says that 717 Sri Lankans residing in China have returned to Sri Lanka by now.
And now the coronavirus outbreak has now infected around 17,300 people globally and has killed at least 362 in and out of China. A man died of the coronavirus in the Philippines, and this is the first confirmed fatality outside China. The virus has been spread to over 25 countries thus far. Within weeks, the number of Wuhan coronavirus deaths in mainland China has overtaken the 2003 severe acute respiratory syndrome epidemic in the country. Since its outbreak in December, more than 360 people have died of the disease in China. The country's health authorities stated on Monday that the total number of cases in mainland China stood at least 17,200 as of Sunday evening, an increase of over 2,800 on the previous day, or almost 20%. The first death from the virus outside China was confirmed over the weekend. Philippine health officials stated that a 44-year-old Chinese man died on Saturday after flying into the country from Wuhan, and so far more than 180 cases have been reported outside China. Majority of them with a direct link to the country across more than 25 countries and territories worldwide. Many countries, including the United States, Australia, Singapore, New Zealand, Israel, Japan and South Korea, have begun closing their borders to visitors from China, with major airlines cancelling flights to and from the country. Hong Kong stated that it was suspending from midnight 10 out of 13 border crossings with mainland China. The city of Wuhan finished building its first emergency hospital for coronavirus patients yesterday. The construction took place within 10 days. The 645,000 square foot hospital is made out of 2 floors and has 30 intensive care units, several isolation wards and 1,000 beds. Chinese State Medical Aid China's army has sent 1,400 medical workers to staff the hospital.
Chinese stocks recorded their worst day in years as investors reacted to the worsening coronavirus outbreak in China. The Shanghai Composite plummeted 7.7% and the Shenzhen Component Index fell nearly 8.5% on their first day of trading after an extended Lunar New Year holiday. They had been closed since January 24th. The losses have wiped out a combined $445 billion in market value.
China's stock market suffered its worst drop in nearly 5 years on Monday as the virus hit mainland reopened its exchanges for the first time since the Lunar New Year holiday. Fears over the new coronavirus saw investors selling the yuan and dumping commodities, with around $400 billion wiped from the Shanghai Composite Index. The benchmark closed nearly 8% lower, the biggest one-day drop since 2015. The ticker around the Shanghai Stock Exchange, which would have shown a plunge, was shut off on Monday. Investors are bracing for volatility as the spread of the new coronavirus weighs on the world's growth outlook. The virus has already killed more people in China than the death toll there from SARS in 2003. Within China, the yuan began trading at its weakest this year, and commodities like copper hit their maximum down limits. The wipeout came even as the central bank made its biggest cash injection to the financial system since 2004. Reactions outside China were more muted. The MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan fell less than 1%, but that was still its 8th straight day of losses. Analysts expect markets in China to remain under pressure, as the number of virus infections is still likely to increase in the weeks ahead.
National organizer of the Podujana Peramuna, Basil Rajapaksa, says that he will not contest the forthcoming general election. He made these remarks upon arrival at the Katunayake International Airport from Dubai today. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa said that the President and the Prime Minister have stated that the Parliament will be dissolved in the first available occasion in the month of March this year. He added that a strong Parliament is compulsory in order to perform the necessary tasks on behalf of the country and the people. Basil Rajapaksa further said that in order to fulfill this objective, parties under the leadership of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will take measures to secure majority power in Parliament. He added that they will contest the election under a victorious symbol. He further said that they will face the election with confidence as they have the highest number of people's representatives in the country. Basil Rajapaksa also said that he will not contest the election but will definitely fulfill his task in this connection. Commander-in-Chief of Ground Operations of the Russian Republic, Oleg Salykov, has arrived in the island today on a 5-day visit. He was welcomed at the airport by Army Chief of Staff Major General Satyapriya Liyanage. Commander Salykov has arrived in Sri Lanka on an invitation extended by Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva. Several senior officials have also arrived with him. Army Commander Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva and Defence Secretary Major General Kamal Gunaratne have met the Russian commander today. He has also placed floral tributes at the War Memorial in Battaramulla. Commander Oleg Salykov is scheduled to participate as a special guest at tomorrow's Independence Day ceremony. And now on the weather. The Met Department says that showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Sabaragamu province and in Kalutara, Nuwara, Kandy, Galle and Mathara districts after 2 p.m. Light showers may occur in the eastern coastal areas of the island. The Met Department further said that mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamu and Uva provinces during the morning.
And now with that we conclude tonight's news live on Channel I. Do join us tomorrow at the very same time.
Good night.